Now, last but not least, the Los Angeles Rams rounding out these schedule predictions. I've done all other NFL teams. You can go and check those out on the channel. But today we're talking about the Los Angeles Rams. This is a team coming off NFC West title this past year. They made a run to the divisional round of the playoffs where they fell just 10 yards short of taking down the eventual Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. The Rams, they're looking this year to, hopefully improve on that. But it's tough. The NFC is tough out there, and the Eagles still reign supreme. But they got to deal with the NFC West first, a very, very solid division. The NFC West is a division that doesn't really have any bottom feeders, but isn't super top heavy. It's a division of teams that they're not lining up to blow people out, but none of them you would expect to get blown out. You're expecting competitive games from all four of those teams. So definitely an interesting division by that standard and should be a close race. The Rams, in the offseason, picked up Devontae Adams and Poona Ford on defense. That was big to shore up their run defense, which is where they were hurt against teams like the Eagles last season. So that should be an improvement there. Week 1, you couldn't ask for this at a better spot for the Rams. The Texans, they're injured. They have some injury question marks coming into the season. The offensive line is still really bad for Houston. They don't get time to mesh. The tough spot for Houston. Great spot for the Rams to get this game later in the season. I think this would be a much tougher task for the Rams, and they really get blessed with this game in Week 1. And Sean McVay is actually historically incredible in Week 1s, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams to handle business in LA in the first week of the season. And then Week 2, another great spot. The schedule makers very much blessed the Rams this year. Week 2, they get the rookie Cam Ward early in the season while he's still figuring things out. That Titans team could be a bit of a mess this year. I think that's a road win there. Titans going to have a long year, unfortunately. But at least you have a young rookie quarterback to watch. Week 3, so this is one you're talking about. You keep hearing stuff, those Rams players, they want revenge. They're out for Philly. And I hear that, and I understand it, but that doesn't instantly mean you get a win. I think this will be a close game. I think it's a game the Rams are absolutely capable of winning. But in Philadelphia, I'm still going to lean Eagles in this one. Despite the Rams coming close, they did still lose in that playoff game, and they lost to Philly earlier last year. So in this spot, I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles there. But then the Rams come home Week 4. They get a nice little it's not an easy game, but there are certainly more challenging ones. They get home against the Colts in Week 4, and I think the Rams will handle that one fairly easily. Then Week 5, a Thursday night football game. Rams swept the Niners last year after several years of struggling against them, and they're looking to keep the trend going. I'm not sure about a sweep this year, but I do like their odds on Thursday night home against the Niners there early in the season. And then Week 6, they head to Baltimore. This is just a tough one. It's similar to the Philadelphia one. Any way you slice it, this is a tough road game, and I 100% think the Rams are capable of winning games like this. I still do lean Baltimore here, especially in Baltimore. So Rams fall to 4-2. And then what would be a road game is actually a neutral site game over in London between the Rams and Jags, so no home field advantage there. And the Jags are a bit of a mixed bag this year, not sure exactly what to expect, but I do think the Rams will be a better team. Jags probably should miss the playoffs. I think the Rams move to 5-2 before their bye week. And then coming out of their bye, they're blessed with what is probably the worst team in football. The Saints come to LA, and I think the Rams handle business there. Moving on to 6-2, so a very hot start to the year for the Rams. And then Week 10, they are at San Francisco. And, the Niners could struggle. If the Niners have injuries like last year, yeah, Rams are going to win this game. Niners are going to be bad. But expecting the Niners to stay healthy, I don't think the Rams sweep them this year, so I will take the Niners at home. Rams fall to 6-3. Then Rams are home against Seattle. Cooper Kupp comes to LA if he is still healthy, of course. And I think the Seahawks definitely took a step back. I don't like what they did in the offseason. Sam Darnold is a downgrade from Geno Smith. They lost Metcalf, Lockett. It's just, they have a good young core, bright future. Didn't like the moves they made if they're trying to compete this season, which I'm not sure that they are. But I mean, you're always trying to compete, but you know what I mean. Rams take care of business. 7-3. Home against the Bucks. This is one of the tougher games on the schedule. Baker and the Bucks come to town. I went back and forth on this one. I truly do think this one could go either way. I really, really like the Bucks this year. It's a Sunday night football game, and I'm just gonna lean Rams here in a close one. That one is gonna be a fun game if you ask me. That one, you could see some points in that one, in my opinion. So 8-3 now for the Rams on the road in Carolina. Potential trap game here. Certainly look out for it. This is one I considered and flip-flopped on for a little bit. Definitely a potential trap game for the Rams heading to Carolina, but I do think they ultimately take care of business before heading to Arizona in Week 14. This is a tough one. The Cardinals, not sure what shape they'll be in at this point. The Cardinals have struggled to put together a full season, but they played well against the Rams last year, kind of. They dominated the Rams early in the season. Mind you, the Rams were very injured, and then both teams kind of crawled to a low-scoring game late in the season that the Rams won. So very interesting matchups between these two last year. I think the Cardinals, despite Rams' historical success against them, I think the Cardinals are able to sneak out a home win here, and the Rams fall to 9-4. Then Week 15, this is one the Rams twice have had to go into Detroit, and they have come up just short twice, one of them being an overtime, one of them being a 1-point loss in the playoffs. And I think in LA, this is one the Rams pulled out, and I think this is going to be a blast. This one gives the vibes of when Buffalo came into LA last year, and the final score was like 40-something to 40-something, and that game was crazy. I think this game could be crazy as well. It is that 4:25 Eastern slot, so it should be a lot of eyes on it. I think the Rams this time finally get the Lions in that one. The Lions are going to be so beat up by their schedule. It is brutal this year. I really feel for Lions fans, especially their road schedule. Their road schedule is just Super Bowl contender after Super Bowl contender. It's almost not fair. But, that's a whole nother topic. Week 16, trap game, I don't know. Maybe you want to call it that. Thursday Night Football, short week after a highly emotional, you would think, close contest against the Lions. Rams have to go into Seattle, who may or may not be playing for something at this point, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to show up. They're still going to compete. It's a short week. 12th man rocking in prime time. I think the Rams get tripped up here and fall to the Seahawks, and they fall to 10-5 on the season. Week 17 here, if you've seen anything I've put out this year, you know I am lower on the Falcons than most people, but maybe not than most people. I mean, ESPN just ranked them as the 26th best roster, so I guess I'm not alone in thinking they won't be that great this year. It's currently slated that this is a Monday Night Football game. Personally, I think it has a great chance to be flexed out, so this very well could be at 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. But either way, I'm going to take the Rams in this one, especially coming off a loss. And being a Monday night, that's an extra day. So Rams move to 11-5. Week 18, if the Rams are playing for something here, which we're just going to assume they are, home against the Cardinals. Cardinals, I do not see sweeping the Rams, so the Rams take care of business there and move to 12-5. Now, 12-5 is a fairly high record. And mind you, injuries could certainly play a factor. If the Rams start getting injured, they're in big trouble. I mean, that's no surprise. When they had some injuries early last year and they started with a pretty rough record before rallying on the back half of the season, this is a team that is very strong, but they do not have an excessive amount of depth. So, they start getting injured, they could be in trouble. And they do have a couple guys who do get injured. Stafford and Puka have had their share of injuries, so definitely keep an eye on that. But when you look at this schedule, 12 wins is high, but really, it's a very easy schedule. I do not have them beating anyone good. Or that's the wrong way to put it. I do not have them beating anyone outside of the Lions and I guess the Bucks. But outside of that, most of these games you would look at and be like, yeah, I mean, Jaguars, Saints, Seahawks, Panthers, Falcons, Titans. These are not super tough games. The Rams are very blessed with the schedule they were handed this year. And the way it was set up, I think it's set up in a good way. And for those, I've seen it on other videos. some talking about the Giants one, how brutal their schedule is. People, I do hope, are aware the NFL does not select the teams that they're going to play. Like they are not out here hand picking the games for teams. They are set years in advance, just hoping everyone knows that. The order of the games is not, does the NFL have a hand in making some easier by the order? I don't know. Who knows? But I never hear any talk about that. I hear talk about, wow, a bunch of hard teams, the NFL must hate them. And it's like, well, no. I mean, so anyways, 12-5 for the Rams should be good enough for another NFC West title. That is, unless the Niners really kick it into gear, because if they can return to form, there's no telling what the Niners could do. The Niners' schedule, you think the Rams' schedule is a bit easy here. The Niners' schedule is unbelievably easy. I mean, the Rams, I have them losing some of I think their two toughest games at Philly and at Baltimore. If they were to win either of those, I mean, wow, they're going to end up with a pretty good record. But we will see. 12-5 is the prediction for the Rams, assuming they stay healthy. Let me know what y'all think. And that does complete the record predictions for every team.